Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Forgot where my hair's going today. Okay. Hello, friends. Hello. Hello. Welcome to my Stay Home with Steph. I don't know what number this is. It might be 29. It might be number 30. I don't know. It'll be, if you're watching it on Instagram, it'll be in the box below or in the title, I guess. And speaking of that, if you are watching this on the YouTube, it is not live. It is pre-recorded from Friday, May 8th. Yes. Why do I need a calendar up here. Let me move this closer. There we go. From 2:05 to 3:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. How is everyone today? It is kind of a blech day here. I am sorry that I was a little bit late. I had the hiccups, and I could not get them to go away. And then I was like, I just gotta go, and now they're gone. So, yay. So, I hope that you all are doing so well. I know that I'm doing well. So, and yeah, it's cold and rainy, and my cat just scared herself. It was really funny. I had a weird thing happen the other day. We have a cat bed. And you know, like when you buy a bed for a cat and then they want to sleep in the box it came in instead of the actual bed. So I had this cat bed and whatever. And the other day, they just like pulled it out from somewhere. And they had it was just in the middle of the room. And I was like, what? Where'd you even pull this from? And now they're sleeping in it. Not together. No, not together. You J.L. Truhan? Or J.L.T. Ruhan? I'm sorry. She said that she had flurries in Michigan. Oh, God. No. Beadwitch 51. We got your package yesterday. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. And yes, Savi Terry. Yep, it was definitely 80 degrees when I mowed the lawn last Saturday. Awesome. Not impressed. Yes. But nonetheless, it is Friday. Yay for that. So, I'm so sorry for people that are still getting snow. It is May, Mother Nature. Pull it together. Okay. So, we're going to continue to do what we were doing yesterday, which was, this amazing tag that I found. And it is the Confessions of a Cross-Stitcher tag. And there are a total of 28 questions. And we got through 6 of them, I think, yesterday. So, I'm gonna, instead of going down one by one, I'm just gonna kind of pick one, do whatever. It's gonna be 92 in Antioch, California. Okay, that's a little much. 92 is very high temperature. Don't like it. No, thank you. You can have it. Sorry, Annette. So, and then people in Buffalo, New York getting flurries. What is happening? May is crazy pants. Okay. So how these questions work is that I will ask the questions and then you feel free to answer the questions. I will read some of the answers back. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, I will do my best to say who says what, and that kind of thing. And then it eventually, gets it becomes like this really cool and fun dialogue, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's really fun. So, let's get started. So they're kind of divided into two different groups. There's a short and sweet section, which is what we did yesterday, and then there is like a moment of truth section. It's getting serious. So, okay. Let's see. This is a fun one. Okay. So, if you make a mistake, do you have to frog it out? 98% of the time, yes, I have to frog it out. I just can't. And like, I mean, if it's like a freestanding like motif and like it doesn't affect much if any of the like remaining pattern, then I'll just leave it. But that happens so rarely. And I know myself well enough to know that if I'm like, okay, well, if I just leave this here, then I need to count this more over, I'm going to forget. And then I have to like write myself a post-it. No, it's just easier to frog it out and redo it correctly. So yeah, a lot of you are saying like 98% of the time you frog too. Depends on how bad it screws the pattern. If it's not noticeable, it doesn't affect the design as a whole, then no. Yeah. So, and if it's I used to, true confession, I used to, if it was like a big section that I have to frog, then I would give it to Pam and ask her to frog it for me. Because it made me sad to have to frog it. But, it happens to all of us. It does. So it's not something to be like ashamed of or anything like that. And yeah, so, okay. So a lot, it depends on where and how it affects the pattern. Depends on how it looks, but mostly yes. And like, I know that the general like viewer of my, project is not going to be able to see the mistake, but it just sticks out like a sore thumb right in my face. And so I have to. Hi, Darla. And yeah, so it is what it is. Yeah, there's a fun thing that I have realized that I am actually pretty good at. You can ask Pam for validation on this. Is I'm really good at finding the error. Like, Pam will be sitting there and she'll be like, I can't figure out what is wrong. And I'm like, give it to me, Pam, give it to me. And then I find it. It's just that new set of fresh eyes. And yes, I know it's there too, Linda. All right, Annette says there was a time when I could never train my eyes to see where I made the error. So when I do find the error, I'm thrilled I found it. And that's how Pam is too, for sure. And Renee, yep, flashing neon sign. And yeah, it's like a word find. So yeah, and sometimes like, and I am also like a habitual counter. Like, I will count something twice. And okay, so how do I put this? So last night when I restarted my snowman for a third time, hello, Marissa. I, like, the center was like like a four stitch little snowflake situation. And then it was like, I hope you heard that. It's Muffin being ridiculous. And so then, like, you had to count up to, like, the arm of the snowman. Okay. So, really, Muffin? Really? And so I will count that, like, twice. So how many stitches up and how many stitches over. And then everyone could hear that. That's hilarious. Now she's going to run up the stairs and down the stairs and up the stairs and down the stairs at least 3 times. That's her. And and then I will go and I'll put my needle in and then I'll count it twice once I have the needle in the hole I think is correct. It's a bit ridiculous, but that's just how I roll. So, and the way that I count is different than the way that Pam counts. So I count the starting and the ending as one. So, like, I start with 1, 2, like, I don't go from, like, the start and then do 1, 2, 3. I count that as 1. Like, the beginning point is 1. So, when I count and I'm like, there should be 7 spaces in him, like, no, there should be 8, or there should be 6. I'm like, okay, well, yep. And to you, there's 6, but to me, there's 7. So, yep. It's just, and she taught me how to stitch, so I don't know why I count differently than she does. But we do, and it's great. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Renee Scarsdale, she says, I can't outline without screwing up. Jealous of those who outline and fill in. I don't typically outline and fill in either. It's not that I can't, I just don't like, especially if I'm using DMC, I don't really think that it would matter if you did it. But if you're using it overdyed, then it's going to make the look, it's going to make it look different. But if you like outlining and filling in, then great. But it's not typically how I do things. I like to go row by row by row down, from the top down. And I'm sorry, Linda, I'm sure you're probably confused. I'm really bad at explaining how I count, so it's way easier to, like, show somebody to explain how I do the counting thing than it is for me to just be like, well, you start here and then count it. It doesn't make any sense. So, okay, awesome. Okay, so next question is, are you a stickler for the pattern or a creative muse? So that kind of goes a little bit along with that previous question, but 9 out of 10 times I'm a stickler for the pattern in everything but the fabric. Like, the called for fabric I don't necessarily need to have, because what I find is that the photos on the covers of charts, the biggest thing that's off color-wise is the fabric. And so unless I, like, see a model somewhere and I'm like, I want that fabric, then I'll do that. But if it says, like, that you need 32 count whatever from wherever, whatever, okay, fine. Thank you for letting me know that that's what the chart is stitched on. However, no, I'm good. And I know that it's under, hi, Stitching by Cass. Hello. Thanks for stopping by and say hi, have a good day. And so that the fabric part of it is something that I'm more or less like whatever about. But the threads, I really like to use called for colors. If it's something that's like super simple, if it's like 2 colors or something, and I pick my own color, then that it is what it is. But most charts, I like to use the called for colors. When a big problem that I run into is dye lots of flosses. So if it's an older chart and they call for a general art floss or class colorworks floss or whatever, and then I go pull the floss and it's like, that doesn't look like the picture. Like, okay, so on the 90% of the time, why am I keep saying 90 and 99%? A lot of the time I'm attracted to a chart because if it's not for the model itself, it's for the chart cover itself. And so I want it to look like the cover because I like the cover because I bought it because of the cover. So on my Jolly Happy Soul that I'm working on, one of the colors for his like stick arms on the snowman, it calls for Old Hickory from Gentle Arts. I have Old Hickory from Gentle Art. That's what I put in my first one. It doesn't look anything like the photo. Anything like the photo. And I thought it stuck out and I didn't really like it. So I decided to change it to a different color that was in the chart, which was Muddy Puddle from Classic Colorworks. And it looks way more like the cover. And I love it. So those kind of liberties I'll take, but a lot of times I just do what they say because it's just easier that way. A designer is first and foremost an artist, and their eye for color is probably better than mine. So I trust that a lot. So that's where that comes from. And then in regards to like changing motifs or removing things from charts or whatever, it's taken me a long time to be able to see a chart differently than what it's pictured. Like when people are like, oh, okay, I'm going to take this part out of it. I'm like, I didn't even look at it like that. Or like, I'm going to change the red dress to blue. It's like, I couldn't even see it in any way different from the cover, if that makes any sense at all. So I've gotten better at seeing how a pattern can be altered. And, I've had a lot of different discussions with designers, and they've said, like, we love it, we love it, we love it, when people do that kind of stuff, because I'm always like, I don't want to offend somebody by changing their chart. But most of the time they love it. So that's given me more license to make changes like that. Yeah. So, but I'm not a designer either. So I trust the designers more than I trust myself, if you know what I'm saying. So, but most of the time, stickler to the chart. All right, let me go back and read some comments. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people are sticklers. And Lowry K, I'm assuming your first name is K. I do? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm the worst. Sorry, I'm the worst, K. Love you. I'm just really bad at names, okay? I need to be told what to do as well. Definitely. And Jen Bell 61 says, mostly pattern, but I've added some things to personalize for a birth or wedding or grad gift, which is totally legit. Like, I've changed, like, my initials and things on, samplers and things before, so, Michelle says, I'm not sure if I've ever used the called for fabric. Amen. And, like, we have a pretty expansive floss collection, including all those color and cottons we got last year. So, if we have them all, we should use them. And so, I will turn to those if I can't find, like, a color for something or whatever. So, And yeah, Tony said that she's mostly a stickler. I may change a color or two. Pretty much always the fabric because of count and or availability. And that's true too. Is, like, just because the model, I mean, I hope people know this, but like, just because the chart says that it was stitched on 36 count or 40 count or 14 count Aida, doesn't mean that you have to stitch it on that. Anything can be stitched on anything. Period. So, if it's charted for cross-stitch, it can be cross-stitched on any fabric you want, in any floss that you want. So, that's just, at its core, a chart is just a blueprint. So, okay, change fabric, sometimes threads. Amy D1201 says, mostly stick to the chart, but usually pick fabric that I have on hand. Usually stick to the fancy floss depending on how big an area it's covering. Yep. And Sue, yes, Juliet Reflections is amazing with color. This is very, very true. So is Susan at Keepsakes. Like, I'm like, how do you just do that? Like, when someone asks me if, like, well, if you're out of this color, then you can find a substitution for it. Okay, sure. It takes me so long. So I'm like, I don't know, is that too light? Is it too dark? I don't know. And yes, Tony, however, if I do change colors, it's a lengthy and intense process, and I usually need consultations with others. Amen. And yes, Linda, thank you for reminding me. I did change the green, and baby, it's cold outside, and I did add those baby cardinals. However, those cardinals I did not chart myself. I just took them from a different chart. So, I mean, yes, it was creative, but like, I just copy-pasted, really, at the end of the day. Hi, Janet. Yes. And yes, you do you. Hi, Megan. And hello, Marty. Hi, Lisa. Yeah. And Linda, yes, it is 100% fine to copy mine. My biggest thing with any of things like that is if somebody posts adjustments that you decide to use, and like, I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about like anybody else, and everyone, I think it's only appropriate that credit be given. So just credit the person that you, like, when I added those cardinals, I made sure that everyone knew that those cardinals were from a Brenda Gervais chart. Because I was like, I don't want anyone thinking that I'm out here charting cardinals. No. So KMM1955 says, I recently substituted a Mania project with color and cotton and Victorian motto threads. Now I'm too scared to start it. I don't trust myself, but I have all those threads I'm not using. Girl, do it. Just do it. You know? Kathy, I love ya. Do it. I mean, at worst case scenario is that the colors, and you have to frog it out. And per our early discussion, it's not that terrible. But yeah, you have all those threads, so what are they doing sitting around? So just do it. And Lisa, is it Lisa Levens? I think it's Laura Levens. Laura Levens. Anyway, she said she just talked to Susan a few minutes ago and placed another order. Thank you so much. You guys are killing my bank account because I have to do exactly the colors and fabric. Thanks. Yeah, and thank you, Pam. Thank you, Kay. So, Kay Lowry, there must be another one because this one is saying that we've never met.
Okay.
But I love you guys. I love you too. She says, I think there is another Kay Lowry we have never met, but I love you guys and your floss tube. I'm fairly new to stitching. You guys are great. You're great too. Love you. It's okay. And Kathy, the threads are so pretty to look at. For sure. I know, every time I pull out my color and cotton stash, I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. Okay. So, N. Zeisler? She says, hi, Steph. Hi. I'm fairly new to jumping back into cross stitch. Oh, welcome. Have you used Kreinik, and does it make it look better in those areas? Yes, I have used Kreinik. It is not the easiest to work with. In my personal opinion. Now, I have a very, very dear friend. Her name is Melissa. She's the cupcake stitcher. She loves all the things sparkly. She even enjoys stitching with DMC light effects, that's like finding an actual unicorn, is someone who enjoys stitching with light effects. No offense to anyone who loves light effects. No offense, DMC. I just find that it's just hard for me to work with, personally. But what I have used is Rainbow Gallery, which is a thread brand. They have a line of metallics and petite treasure braid, and they have them in like blending filaments and all different sizes and stuff. And I'm using the blending filament on Dorothy's Discovery, which is a Silver Creek chart for the ruby slippers from Dorothy. And it's great. It's great. I love it so much. It's one strand of that and one strand of DMC, and yeah, it works awesome. So Melissa is saying, I'm all about the metallics. Yes, you are, Melissa. And then she says, petite treasure braid is the easiest to work with. And I would agree with her on that. So there's a chart it's a series of charts from Brooks Books, and it is the Wizard of Oz characters. Pam is actually stitching that for me. I know, lucky me. And all of the metallic items in that whole stitch are charted in DMC light effects. Yes, Keepsake sells some petite treasure braid. Whisper is also made by Rainbow Gallery, so we sell some of that. We don't have a full line of them, but we can easily order them for you. And so, and what was I saying? Okay, sorry. Okay, wow, Wizard of Oz. Okay. The light effects in the Wizard of Oz chart that Pam is doing for me, she got, like, the first light effect color or whatever, and it was, like, a pink for Glinda's shoes, I think, maybe. And she's stitching that chart on Jobelin, which is naturally, because of what it's made of, it's just a more fluffy fabric. It's like soft. It's nice. It's not stiff in any way, shape, or form. And it was like she would go in and stitch, and Pam's not like a pull tight type of tension stitcher. And it was like puckering the fabric. Like, oh, it was bad. It was bad. And like all around the edge of it, it was just puckering it up. And she was like, so it was really hard to work with on that particular fabric. I don't know if that's how that thread affects other fabrics. I don't know, because I'm like, nope. But yeah, so she's now switched everything over to Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid. And it's perfectly fine. But Melissa, who is my go-to about beads and metallics, Melissa says that she loves Kreinig's color range, and I will say that that is 100% accurate. Kreinig does have probably the widest range of colors available, for sure. Yeah. Okay. And Stitchy Aardvark, where can you get a Pam? I don't know, but you cannot have mine. I've worked very hard to keep this one. And okay, so Melissa also says that DMC light effects are easily available. This is 100% true. They sell them at Joann's even. So Rainbow Gallery, you have to go through a needlework or needlepoint shop. So needlepoint shops typically carry like full line of Rainbow Gallery because they are, I think at its core, a needle pointing thread. But Melissa said that you do have to work differently with it though, for sure. She says, I've developed tricks to working with DMC light effects. I bet you have. And Linda, it doesn't look easy to separate either. Even the light effects? I don't know. Melissa, let me consult my expert. Are the DMC light effects, are they stranded? Do you remember if they were stranded when you used them, Pam? I don't think so. Really? Pam didn't seem to think that they were, but I need... Yeah. Huh. I didn't know that they were stranded. But I can't imagine. Oh, yep, they are 6 stranded according to Melissa. Well, would you look at that? Hello, twins. Huh. Wow, I cannot imagine how difficult that would be to separate. Oh, good night. Nope. So, and Melissa said it's no more difficult than regular DMC to separate. So, yeah, I say just go for it. Cool. Thank you so much, Melissa. I love you. I'm so glad that you're learning so much, Janet. Me too. And there are a lot of there's a big range of metallic threads, obviously, in the universe. There's blending filaments, and then there's, like, bigger sizes. I'm the worst at talking about that. I don't know the vernacular well enough to be able to talk about it, unfortunately. I think the, like, number 4 braid is the most common, I think. But there are some, like, I think that my shoe would have looked really weird on my Dorothy's Discovery had I just used the Rainbow Gallery. I needed the other strand of DMC to give it kind of a, like, body underneath it, and Tony says, if Susan is the floss whisperer, is Melissa the metallic sparkly floss whisperer? I mean, that's what it seems like at this moment. At this juncture, it's safe to say. She's also the bead whisperer. And yes, Melissa, I know that you want everyone to stitch in metallics and beads. We know this. Because you are extra. And that's why we're friends. Okay. And yes, doesn't Melissa make it sound easy? Fun fact. Okay. If you guys are not following Melissa, she is stitching Zuka the Pumpkin from Alessandra Adelaide in all beads. Literally, all beads. The whole thing. The whole thing. Yeah. She's amazing. She's the cupcake stitcher on FlossTube. You need to go watch. Not just because she's my friend, but because she's an amazing stitcher. She did not pay me to say that. Hello, Taylor. And let me mark off that. I need to mark off that question so I don't ask it again. Okay. It's currently in my hands, but I'm not typing out messages, Melissa. That's awesome. Bayside Stitching, she said, wow, I actually just found her on FlossTube today. There you go. Okay. Number 13. I cannot wait to hear what you all have to say for this. This is going to be fun. And I understand that the answer to this question depends a lot on your situation. But just think about it generally. So, number 13 is, are you an impulse buyer or a thoughtful purchaser? My answer is that I am impulsively thoughtful. And when I say that because, like, I know what I like, and I don't, I won't just buy a chart to buy a chart. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But if I do like it, then I'm gonna buy it. I don't ever, maybe this is bad, but there's no way really that I'm probably going to, Stitchy Aardvark said my Etsy account says impulse. And, like, I think that if I literally woke up and started stitching and stitched all day, every day, for the rest of my life, I would be able to stitch my entire stash. And I am 100% okay with that. 100% okay with that. I just like having the charts. I like having the collection of the charts. But I also don't need to have it just to have it. And I'm also, like, I try really hard to, like, be very honest with myself. And if I have a chart that I know I don't like, then I will get rid of it. I'll put it in the giveaway box. So, because it's not about need, it's about want. Exactly. And frankly, like, in my previous life, the amount of money that I just threw away every day, like, literally just threw away. I mean, I didn't actually throw it in the trash, but you know what I'm saying, was astronomical compared to the amount of money I spent on a cross-stitch stash. So, nothing can ever compare to the financial choices I made in my previous life. So, if I like it, if it brings me joy, add to cart. Okay. Or just, and yes, working at Keepsakes doesn't help that either. Okay. And if there's something that I'm on the fence about, I will stay on the fence. I'll wait till, like, the pull is strong. Like those two birds that I bought last week from Kathy Barrick. Like, I thought they were absolutely beautiful, but then I actually, like, the question that I always ask myself is, where would I put that? Like, where would I hang that? Where would I set that? Where would I display that? Where would it go in my home? And if it just wouldn't go, then it's no longer appealing to me. That helps. But we also have a lot of wall space. So, a lot of people are saying that they're both. And Lori, yes, my motto is, it's not about need, it's about want. Yes. um, both just depends on the day. Tony, I'm typically thoughtful when left on my own. When left on my own. When I'm not supervised, I just buy everything. Oh, wait, no. No, that's the opposite of what you said. When you're thoughtful when you're left on your own, however, much more impulsive when influenced by others at a retreat or shopping together. Yes. That's the worst. And that's the worst. And when I say that's the worst, I mean that's the best. We went, a few of us from the Whistle Stop crew have gone up to Craft Gallery a few times, and I'm the best at spending other people's money. So I'm just like, yes, you need that. You need that. You've been looking for that. That is calling your name. Add to cart. Then I'll just put it in their cart for them. So I feel that for sure. And organizing it all, not my strong suit. NBC Stitcher, I try to not be super impulsive with fabric because, I mean, I like fabric, don't get me wrong, I love fabric. I want all the 40 count fabric. But, I try to be, like we're in fabric clubs, and that's cool, but if I don't have a project for it, then, like, I'm not just gonna buy it to have it, kind of thing. Okay. Add to cart. And Darla says, my husband makes me very thoughtful. I mean, I hear that. I don't have a husband. So, add to cart. Okay. Life is short. Buy the pattern. Absolutely, Stitchy Aardvark. And L Snaps said, recently I went through my stash and asked myself, are you really going to stitch this? I ended up giving away 30 to 40 charts. Pam did the same thing the other day with her patriotic section of charts. And she added a ton to the giveaway table and found a couple projects that she's like, I want to stitch this soon. And, you know, making those decisions is necessary because your tastes change. And so, good for you, L Snaps. So Jen Bell says, I was doing things in moderation, then started working at a shop. Things went to, quote, hell in a handbasket. Also true. It does not help that I am the one that does all the ordering. I'm like, oh, okay. I have to place an order with Paulette Stewart at Plum Street Samplers. Well, might as well get this one, too. But I find comfort in knowing that I'm enabling other people through my floss tube, through our floss tube. I just look at it as like, keeping the craft alive. So I'm just really doing my part over here, So if you think about your purchases as you doing your part to help keep the needlework industry alive as a whole, it will help you sleep at night. It helped me. So, Tony, I can only imagine how bad you and Beth are together. Beth is Tony's sister. And yes, Melissa, we are all incredibly good at that, and that means spending each other's money. For sure. We're like, you need it. You need it. Buy it. It's lovely. And so Darla also says, Steph, I also stitch with a purpose. If I don't know what to do with a project, I don't stitch. I'm thinking about stitch it. Yeah. So if I don't know what it's going to turn into, then if I can't realistically see it in my home or whatever, then I'm good. And yes, Melissa, she's really good at shopping for Katie. She's so easily persuaded. It's like, there's no point. If she's like, should I get this? All I have to say is, yeah, okay. It's super easy. No husband, add to cart. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Michelle, that's awesome. Michelle said, my husband is my enabler. He's always telling me to buy it. I want one. And yeah, Janet, I totally get it. Totally get it. And I've had people that have asked me specifically, like how much stash do we have? How much stash do I have? How much stash does Pam have? And my gut reaction is, frankly, that's no one's business. How much food is in your fridge? Like, none of your business. And like, I always want to know like what their intention behind asking that question is. Like if they're one of my friends or whatever, then and they're just giving me crap, then it's different. But if you're an actual stranger to me and you're like, so how much stash do you and Pam like actually have? It's like, why do you care? So it brings us joy, and that's all that matters to me. That's just to us, I think. I think I can speak for both of us on that. So if it brings you joy to purchase it, then sit in that joy, girl. Sit in that joy. Um, uh, Roseanne, my hubby takes me to shops. He sits outside and knows it's not going to be good left on my own. Um, L Snap says, I went on the hunt for a piece of 40 count to try. Ended up getting some from Etsy. When it arrived, mother helped me. I bought a bed sheet of 40 counts. It was that big. I didn't even look at that. Yeah, it helps. It does help to look at the item details, I will say. But now you got, and hopefully you love stitching on 40 count. Hopefully. I'm praying for you. Okay. I love you, Taylor. I don't necessarily. Yeah, I hope not, Taylor. I hope not. Okay. Yes, and when I've gotten asked more often than I'd like to admit from random strangers, how much stash I have, and that's what I say is plenty or enough. You know, I'm not gonna go. First of all, counting them all, I'm good on that. In my Shit Before I Die box, I have like 500, so let's start there. Okay, so, but plenty, none, yeah. And yes, stash is fun, just waiting to happen. Um, and yeah, I think that people do tend to ask a lot of floss tubers, uh, um, since a lot of floss tubers do stash dives. I think that's true too, but I don't know. If they're doing a stash dive, they're doing a stash dive. It doesn't, I don't know. Yeah. But I can see how that can lead to people asking that question for sure. Okay. I totally understand stash. I'm a quilter, knitter, cross-stitcher, and whatever else I desire. Stash is a must because you never know what you might be in the mood to work on. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I bless the fact that I do not have any other hobby besides cross-stitch because we have to build a wing onto the house. That's for sure. Christy Girl Quilts says, can 40 count be stitched in hand? Yes. I am not an in-hand stitcher, but I don't see why you could not stitch 40 count in hand. As long as you can see the holes and you're fine and you enjoy it, then yeah, for sure. Oh. Baby got stash, yes. I won't tell anyone about the bed sheet. I promise. Okay. We won't tell if you won't. Oh my gosh, it's already 3 o'clock. How does this happen? That was a really fun discussion about that. I knew that was going to be good. So Linda says, I have to have a magnifier for 40 count, but find it hard to hold and stitch. There you go. Or if you never know when you're going to have to stay home for 2 months and the shops are closed, we have to be prepared. Amen to that. Yes, awesome. I know, it just goes so quickly. But I think I can do one more quick question. Come on. Come on. All right. So, we'll just chat for the last 5 minutes. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I will do a live tomorrow on Saturday. And then Sunday we'll have a floss tube. And all these lovely people are telling you Happy Mother's Day. And Spinatic Crafter asked, are you doing something special for Pam on Sunday? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And thank you. I know I'm a fur baby mom. Also, Sue B5575 says, my friend stitches in hand on 40 and 46 count. Bless her. And I mean, okay, so I already have part of her gift for Sunday, and I'm slightly worried that the other half won't get here in time because today's Friday, and if it's not in today's mail or tomorrow's mail, I'm gonna be mad. But it's okay. It's okay. Is what it is. Thankfully, it's a multi-parted gift, so it'll be fine. But anyway, and Kathy says, I'm sure that living with you is gift enough. That's Kathy Maley. You can talk to Pam about that. Lori asks, the 46 count is at the highest count of fabric. I know that there's 55 count available as well, which is very overwhelming for me. And you are welcome for the videos. Yeah, it is a thought that counts. Pam was like, whatever, it's just another day. And I was like, but it's Mother's Day. So, it'll be fine. It'll be great, whatever happens. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It will come eventually. So, we can celebrate again. So, alright. So, we are going to wrap it up. Yeah, I know. 55, holy moly. Oh, I'm sorry, Spinatic Crafter. And yes, Christy Girl Quilts, if you want to try it. 40 count is not scary. 56 count, somebody says. Are there thinner needles than 28? Not that I know of. Not that are like tapestry needles. I mean, you could use like other different type of needle, like a hand quilting needle, but those are sharp. So, there you go. So, I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And we will answer some more of these questions and have some more good chats. I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying these. I know that I'm not, like, showing charts and things anymore, so, I hope that you guys are okay with that. And I'm going to work on my snowman for today, see if I can try. I don't think I'm going to get back to the point that I was when I stopped the other one, but I'm going to try. We'll see. So, I love you all so, so much. If you missed any of this, or for some crazy reason you want to rewatch this, it will be up on YouTube here shortly. And then we have one more live for the week, and it will be tomorrow. So, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the snow, sunshine, and cloudy, rainy weather wherever you are. Love you all so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.